I might drive, and I have participated in meetings where I was driving, as long as I didn't actually have to really participate. All I had to do was listen.
That works.
Ah. Oh, let me put that there. More.
Okay. Well, we call to order the regular meeting of the West Valley City Council. We note that all council members are present in our electronic meeting. I have the opening ceremony tonight, and I have a little YouTube video that I would like to share, with followed by some comments. Okay, I'm not getting any sound. Is anyone else? They assured me the technical difficulties have been worked out.
Sorry, Mayor. I didn't click that thing I told you I was going to click. Here we go again.
Okay.
Memorial Day, which honors the fallen of all of America's wars, got its official start after the American Civil War. But the ritual of honoring war dead at a specific time goes back thousands of years. Most ancient cities would separate the dead from the living by burying them well outside their walls. But ancient Spartans would bury their fallen soldiers in their city as a way of honoring them. And after the famous battle with the Persians that was depicted in the movie 300, the Greek historian Herodotus memorized the names of every fallen soldier. The first American incarnation of the day was in 1868, when General John Logan declared Decoration Day for the purpose of decorating the graves of fallen soldiers in the brutal war that had ended only 3 years earlier. On the first Decoration Day, flowers were strewn on the graves of over 20,000 Union and Confederate soldiers who were buried at Arlington National Cemetery. By 1890, Decoration Day was adopted at the state level across the entire nation. With the tragically massive loss of life in World War I, the holiday was expanded to include the fallen military members in all American wars and came to be known as Memorial Day. And in 1971, in the thick of the Vietnam conflict, Memorial Day became an official federal holiday. Like Veterans Day, Memorial Day began as a way to honor veterans of a specific war and was later expanded to include veterans of all wars. Memorial Day is distinct in that it specifically recognizes the military personnel who gave their lives defending their country. Many other countries have holidays where they honor their war dead in similar fashion. Russia does this on Victory Day, Great Britain on Remembrance Day, Australia and New Zealand on Anzac Day, to give just a few examples. When you're a veteran, every day is Memorial Day. All who have served know that the risks are high, but the reward of freedom is higher. Part of the camaraderie that we share is the knowledge that for those who have sacrificed everything, we will never forget.
You know, next Monday will be Memorial Day, of course, a national holiday. In my life, I've traveled a fair amount for business purposes, and I've had the opportunity to visit various historical sites associated with the military, and pondered there on the role of those who gave their lives for our country. Certainly going to Valley Forge, seeing the place where they struggled through those cold winters, visiting Gettysburg, and perhaps one of the most memorable ones for me, Antietam. Antietam and the Bloody Lane. I walked down the Bloody Lane. The Bloody Lane was where thousands of US soldiers on both sides of the Civil War gave their lives in a single day. The Bloody Lane was called that because they literally stood 10 feet from each other, firing across this lane. And those thousands of bodies bled out into the earth on that lane. I also had the chance to visit Punchbowl Cemetery in Hawaii and the American Memorial Cemetery in the Philippines, and see those thousands of markers for those who gave their lives, and then the engraved monuments listing name after name of those who died in World War II. Then recently I had the chance to go to Normandy and the memorial cemetery that was there, and see again the same thing in Europe as in the Pacific. There was a price paid for us to have these freedoms, and we have been blessed as a nation because of those freedoms. As I had recently pondered, with the COVID-19, this pandemic that is going on, and in spite of all the problems it has brought, I sit in my air-conditioned home with running water, electricity, availability of food, access to friends and neighbors electronically. And I say that certainly we live in a time that is very blessed. And we have that because of those who protected the freedoms that we have in this nation today. So on Memorial Day, certainly I, with others, will remember family members, put flowers on graves of loved ones passed on. But I will also ponder the sacrifice that was made by so many that we enjoy today because of what they did for us. So enjoy Memorial Day. Have a safe one. And what a great American tradition. Thank you. With that, we have our minutes of May 12th. A motion on the minutes.
I move to approve the minutes of May 12th. That was Jake.
Second.
Thank you. Not seeing any discussion. Without objection, we will stand as the minutes approved. Hearing no objections, it was unanimous. Thank you. Next, we have our public comment period. Nicole, do we have any that are signed up?
Yes, sir. We have one member signed up. That's Jim Visock. Jim, you're good to go.
Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor. You guys can hear me, I presume.
Yes.
Yes.
I want to start off with saying I am proud to live in West Valley City and regularly volunteer my time at events. Many of you have seen me. I also defend West Valley City against this wild, wild west image out there. West Valley City has the best police department and fire department in Utah by far. West Valley City also has a great public relations department. This leads me into my point. Why did Mr. Pyle not get in front of the news that came out last week? I'm sure he knew, as I did the night before, what the governor was going to say. Moab's mayor was on the news within 15 minutes. Salt Lake City's mayor, less than 2 hours. Even Magna's mayor came on the same day and explained why they were staying where they were. No one from West Valley City said anything. Lots of friends from Taylorsville, West Jordan, and Kearns, and many of my neighbors contacted me. Fortunately, I knew why, because I listened to the report in the study meeting the week before and was able to give them the information. It would have been nice if it would have came from the city. In the business world, a CEO gets in front of bad news. Once again, I'm gonna say I'm proud to live in West Valley City, and I wish our city managers and executive staff felt the same way. Proud to, keyword, live in West Valley City. And then Mayor, I also share your concern with the issues of the federal money. It wasn't that long ago when we were talking about what is a trillion. Well, what comes after a trillion? I have a feeling it won't be long before we find that out. And that's all I have tonight.
Thank you. Nicole, was no one else has come online?
No, sir.
Thank you. I think Jim's comments deserve just a little feedback. For example, I did not get in front of the cameras. I've come to the point to where I don't feel I really need to defend West Valley City. The people who live here love it. I love it. I've enjoyed it for many years. No matter what we say or do, there will be those naysayers. And sometimes for some, it's the old East-West divide. Others, who knows? But the thing I do know is the people who live here like this city. They enjoy living here. And I don't have to defend it every time because it doesn't matter what other people think. What matters is what the people who live here, the people who elected us, the people we represent. And I believe that the vast majority of them enjoy this city. And so I guess if we wanted to, certainly we could ask staff. They do many times. I know Mr. Pyle informed me of his being on, what is it, Dan and Duvanagic, or whatever the KSL talk show is, and had a chance to speak up. There are many different avenues where that works, and I know our public relations staff are constantly putting out information. It doesn't always get heard. And I'm just not that worried. I just enjoy it here, and I'm just perfectly fine with it. The way every city can improve, and there are probably things we could improve here. But this is what I term a very comfortable community. I mean, it's just good people who live next to each other. I go out even during the COVID-19 pandemic, and even though I'm in the high-risk group, I'll walk around a little bit, and from the front sidewalk, talk to some of my neighbors and just visit with them. And they're good people. They're from all different cultures. They're from all different religions, all kinds of different economic status. But they're all just enjoyable people to be around. It's just a great place to live. Anyway, sorry, I probably stole some of Wayne's thunder if he had some comments to make, but Wayne, anything you want to add?
No, Mayor, I didn't have any comments to add. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay. Council members, anything you want to add? Comment on? I guess I'm the only one who gets carried away. Guess that's why they made me mayor, so I talk too much. Anyway, now that we've got our public comments out of the way, we'll go down through our agenda. We do not have a long agenda, but there are a few important items that must be dealt with. First, we have Resolution 20-59 to approve the execution of an interlocal agreement between West Valley City and Salt Lake County. We've had a number of those. And this one is with the police department and COVID-19 related enforcement. Because we work with the county on many issues, we put into writing an agreement, and our officers will sign up for shifts, and funding is available for some overtime on some of this work. And by having the interlocal agreement, we can qualify for that. And of course, as always, we work with, not under Salt Lake County. We work with them. And we have good relationships with the county on our police department. And this interlocal agreement allows us to get reimbursement for some of that work. And of course, our officers do an excellent job of interacting with the public in education and encouragement on many of these issues to try and keep our city safe, in addition to all the other duties they have. That is the introduction to this item on our agenda to the council.
I move forward for approval of resolution 20-59.
Second.
Okay, the motion's before us to approve. Any further discussion or comments? Hearing none, we'll turn to our city recorder for the roll call vote. And as you vote, be sure your microphone's on.
Councilman Fitzie Umanu,
Aye.
Councilwoman Lang,
Yes.
Councilman Bueller,
Aye.
Councilman Hune,
Aye.
Councilman Christensen,
Yes.
Councilman Nordfelt,
Yes.
and Mayor Bigelow.
Aye,
Motion passes unanimously.
thank you. Next on our agenda, I've got my laptop here. And you'll have to pay close attention because I don't have my paper copy. I do it all electronically. So Don can help me, usually nudges me when I miss something. So let's see, we have 5 items on our consent agenda. Our consent agenda items, the first two, 20-60 and 20-61, of course, right-of-way purchase, warranty deed, temporary construction easement at 2 different locations on Market Street in conjunction with our city center project. The other 3, 20-62, 63, and 64, same thing, right-of-way purchase, warranty deed, temporary construction easements, along with the 2700 West project. We always have a few of these. I don't know what we'll do when 4100 South and 2700 West are done. We'll hardly have a consent agenda. So anyway, those are the items on our agenda to the council.
Move for approval of the 5 items on the consent agenda.
Second.
Properly before us, any further discussion or comment? Not hearing any, we'll go to our city recorder.
Councilman Nordfelt,
Yes.
Councilman Christensen,
Yes.
Councilman Hune,
Aye.
Councilman Bueller,
Aye.
Councilwoman Lang,
Yes.
Councilman Fitzie Umanu,
Aye.
and Mayor Bigelow.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you. That is all on our regular agenda. There is not a need for a closed session. Any last comments before we adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Okay. Motions before us. Then, without objection, due to the electronics, we will stand adjourned. Not hearing any objections, we are adjourned and it was unanimous. We'll look forward to seeing you all next week, electronically, of course.
Thanks,
Good night.
everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nicole.